me and my friend Jimmy decided to make the worst Mario Maker level. Now I'm calling it the worst Mario Maker level, not because it has like Kaizo tricks, you know, those really difficult tricks in Mario Maker, or very obscure glitches or anything like that. It's mainly just because it is made with the intention of being unintuitive. It's sort of reminiscent of a lot of Mario Maker levels that are made by like young kids, where they have an exact idea of how to get through the level and it doesn't make sense to anybody else. So that was the whole point of the level, was to make something that is very reminiscent of that, and just something where it just makes no sense to anybody else. So here's the level. I'm going to be going through it and explaining it. I can't post it anywhere because the Mario Maker servers are down. You can recreate the level if you're interested. At some point in the future, I might post the full breakdown of the level. But yeah, here you go. So starting off, the level is the most straightforward it's gonna get. You need to grab the P-switch, step on it, and then enter the door, while avoiding Bowser and this collection of lava bubbles at the top of the screen. So in Super Mario Maker 1, there's this pretty cool feature where you can add your own sound effects by using the microphone on the Wii U. So we obviously decided to abuse that and use a voice clip of Jimmy saying "Gex" at every possible point we can. You know, enter a door, you grab a block, you even just walk past something. We're using Gex, as in Gex, the cartoon gecko, for the PS1. And what's even better is that you can play the clip as it is, or you can have it slowed down or sped up. So yeah, if you hear Gex said multiple times, that's why. Alright, now we're into the second section of the level. This is when it starts to get kind of complicated. So let's break it down. Full fundamentals. What is the goal of this section? What do you want Mario to do? You want Mario to enter this pipe on the right side. You know, typically you can enter a pipe through its side, but there's a glitch in Super Mario Maker 1 where you can have pipes overlap each other. Mario's technically entering the pipe underneath of the pipe that's standing straight up. Okay, so at the very core of this section, Mario needs to enter that pipe. What else does he need to do? Well, there's a hidden block right above this P door that Mario needs to hit, and that'll give him a key that he needs to use for a later section. Now, what he has to do in order to get this key is he needs to do basically a frame perfect jump, because if he doesn't, these springs are going to push him into the lava. When you enter this section, you also have to make sure that you're holding right, because if you don't, the spring that pushes Mario will also push him into the lava. Also, the P door just leads you into the lava. Don't go through the door. You gotta go through the pipe. The pipe that you can't see. Now in the third section, after you've gone through the pipe and gotten the key, you need to fall down onto this off-centered wood block. Now you may notice that there's another key on the left side, but it's completely unobtainable because you can't fall down, collect it, and then move back to the wood block. We made sure that there's not enough room for you to do that. Now you may think, oh, instead of falling and getting the key, why don't you just land on the wooden block, jump over to the key, and then swing back to the wooden block? Well, you can't do that because right above the key are two hidden blocks containing a boo ring. So as soon as you touch the key, you die. Now that you know the second key is a no-go and impossible to get, all you have to do is avoid these wooden blocks and step on the final one to get into the key door. In between section 3 and section 4, there's a little mini section where you have to avoid this fire bar and get into this P door. Now in order to do this properly, you have to be very quick to run to the P door, but you also have to make sure that the timer for the P switch hasn't run out yet. That's why at the very beginning of the level, we step on the P switch, then enter the door to make sure we have enough time for the door in this section. And now we're into the most difficult part of the level. I mean, I wasn't able to beat this. This is all Jimmy right here. But what you have to do is, after going through this P door, you'll fall down onto this one block of ice, and you'll have to use a blooper nanny to propel yourself up. Now, in order to reach both ledges of wooden blocks, you'll need to jump on one of the blooper babies and then the blooper itself. After jumping back down onto this ice block, you want to put on your Buzzy Beetle shell to damage boost through the spike section so that you can get to the pipe on the other side. Now you can make this section easier by grabbing 2 Buzzy Beetle shells, with one on your head and then one on your hands, so that when you lose your first Buzzy Beetle shell, you can put the other one on and continue your damage boost. But this was not intended. It's the only thing that I can think of that is cheesable in the level. Now we ultimately decided to cheese it because we were under a time constraint, but it is possible with 1 Buzzy Beetle shell.
Jax!
And now we have the best aspect of any Mario Maker level, a pick-a-pipe section. What's interesting about this pick-a-pipe section is that there's no solution. Go in all the pipes as many times as you want, it doesn't lead you anywhere. We either lead you back to the beginning using the pipe overlap glitch, or it's just straight up dead ends. It's not even worth showing footage for it because it's not the way. It's not how you beat the level. What you're actually supposed to do is weave in between all these pipes, take a leap of faith, and find this checkpoint that was barely off screen in the last section. And we toned down the cruelty a little bit at this point in the level by giving you a checkpoint, but that's only because it's followed by a frame perfect jump. So basically what you need to do is you need to grab the POW block, do your frame perfect jump, use the POW right before landing on the P switch, then jump off of the P switch after the spiny is gone to get to the end. And then with that ends the worst Mario Maker level, well, at least in my opinion. Enjoy all these fun sound effects.
Jax!
So whenever I complete a really difficult level, I like to hang something up on my wall, to represent the level. And, I don't know, I printed out this picture of a marmot